Wow, Ron's Gone Wrong is honestly absolutely awesome and could quite honestly be the best animated movie released in 2021. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video we are going to be reviewing Ron's Gone Wrong, which is a computer animated science fiction comedy movie that was actually really awesome. I mean, it had so much humour and so much heart. I mean, it's obviously not the first movie to look at technology and to look at robots and to look at something being defective / different to the norm, but that being said, it has so much charm, actually is pretty relatable in certain aspects as well, whilst not being overly preachy either, and is just such an enjoyable movie that's really well paced from start to finish, and I cannot wait to break it down for you in this movie review. So in this fictionalized future, a tech company called Bubble, which is basically this universe's version of Apple, has created a tech companion robot called a B-bot, which stays with its owner and learns all about them and kind of becomes like their best friend, whilst also helping them to make new friends in the digital world and to become digitally famous as well. So it's a little bit like the Chucky reboot in terms of a digital companion following a person around and becoming their best friend. We are then introduced to the main lead character in this film, who is a kid called Barney Podolsky, who doesn't have rich parents and in turn is the only child in his particular school to not have a B-bot, and in turn feels really isolated because of this, doesn't really have any friends, and is also getting a bit bullied in his school as well. One day his father finds a defective version of a B-bot and then gives this to his son, and as this B-bot isn't really working in the same way as the other kids' B-bots or in the way that it should be, the film then explores all of the chaos that then ensues. And like I said, based on this premise, it is actually really similar to the Child's Play Chucky reboot in terms of a kid having a tech companion that really is a little bit chaotic and a little bit different and also a little bit dangerous as well. Now from a positive point of view, like I said, this movie is just so fun. You're totally captivated into this world, and I feel like they blend future technology as well as life without technology really well, and it really focuses on tech addiction and how obsessed people are with their digital personas and all of the dangers that technology can pose, and also actually how refreshing life can be without technology completely, which does feel a little bit preachy in other movies, but I just feel like they communicate it in a really fun way in this movie. And I really like how they put a new lens on friendship as well, and how easy it is actually to look at friendship from your own selfish point of view, but actually you really should look at it from the other person's point of view as well, and what you're giving to them as well as what you're taking from them as well. And I just feel like the journey with all of the different characters actually, from where they are in the beginning of this movie to where they are by the end of it, is really impressive. However, from a negative point of view, I guess they could have looked at the B-bots and all of the brilliant technology stuff that they can do a little bit more. But you know, that being said, from a storyline point of view, from a character development point of view, as well as from a tech dangers point of view, I feel like they actually did a really good job from a storyline narrative perspective. So from a cast and characters point of view, I have to say all of the actors did a phenomenal job in all of the voice acting that they did in this film. So let's go through them one by one. So first up we have Jack Dylan Grazer, who is building such a brilliant name for himself in this industry after starring in It, the Shazam movies, and in Luca as well. And this time he is playing the Barney Podolsky character, who really goes on a wicked journey across this film and really does learn the true meaning of the word friendship. And I just feel like he's a really relatable and excellent lead character in this film, as at first he isn't really sure about this damaged B-bot and is a little bit disappointed by him, but then by the end of this film I just feel like he is just in such a good place in terms of really appreciating and valuing this robot for what he is, and is actually really appreciative for what he is bringing to him from a friendship point of view as well. And like I said, you can just really relate to this character, and his portrayal is really good. Next up we have Zach Galifianakis, who is from The Hangover as well as Keeping Up with the Joneses, and likewise he does a really good job voicing Ron the robot. And even though this is a defective version of the B-bot franchise, I feel like he just does such a good job in terms of being really lovable, in terms of being really wise, and also just being incredibly funny as well. And in some ways you can actually relate and sympathize and empathize with this character / robot as well. And I just feel like he's such a good co-lead with the Barney Podolsky character in this film. Next up we have Ed Helms, who is playing Barney's father Graham and is a bit of a single parent in this film whilst being an inventor and selling items online as well. Some of it is successful, some of it isn't that successful, and in turn they don't have that much money. And I just feel like that lens in this movie is really, really interesting in terms of looking at wealth and how actually you don't need wealth to be successful, which I know sounds really, really cliche, but they just play that narrative out in this movie really, really well. We also have Olivia Colman, who has also got such a brilliant resume herself, and after recently voice acting in Mitchells vs. the Machines, this time she is playing the kooky grandmother of the Barney character, and is very similar character actually to the grandmother in the Addams Family, and I just feel like she is really bringing so much humour into this film. And we also have Rob Delaney, who is playing the Andrew character, who is the COO in the Bubble Corporation, and he is somewhat the main villain in this film as he wants to capture and destroy the Ron Robot character, as he doesn't want any defective products out there, as he doesn't want this to affect the share price, which I feel like is so interesting from a business angle, just really seeing what it's like to be in a tech company. And then finally we have Justice Smith, who is the creator and CEO of the Bubble Corporation. Firstly, from a business point of view, just seeing how this character is bouncing off the Andrew character and all of the different perspectives from them is really, really cool. But also this guy is the creator of the friendship algorithm, and the defective Ron Robot is really able to open this character's mind up, which I think is really, really fascinating. And so from a casting character's point of view overall, they are absolutely awesome in this movie. So from a visuals point of view, I honestly feel like Locksmith Animation, even though this is the first movie that they've created in this new corporation existence, I feel like they did such a good job with this film. I mean, all of the technology in this universe looks really, really cool. The Bubble Corporation and organization looks absolutely wicked. I absolutely love all of the puns and iterations that they're giving and comparing to the Apple organization in terms of how they do their massive presentations, as well as how the people are in their stores as well. I feel like that is absolutely hilarious. And just the world that they've created just looks really, really fantastic, really, really believable, and is just really, really immersive as well. And so from a visuals point of view, I have to say this movie is actually pretty awesome. So from a comparisons point of view, I am a massive animated movie fan, and I feel like there are some awesome, stellar animated movies out there. But that being said, I feel like Ron's Gone Wrong is such a great new entry within this space, so I feel like it's a lot stronger than Dragon Rider, Mitchells vs. the Machines, Addams Family, Spies in Disguise, Onward, Soul, Next Gen, and Luca. However, I don't feel like it's as good as Toy Story, Wreck-It Ralph, or The Incredibles. But that being said, I feel like it's a brilliant new entry within the animated space. So overall, I really, really enjoyed Ron's Gone Wrong. I feel like it's such a brilliant new movie, and it's just such an awesome package that has so many great elements to it. For example, having a bit of a lonely kid that goes on this wicked epic journey, and I feel like this protagonist is really, really relatable in the same way that Peter Parker is really, really relatable as a lead character. So I feel like that is pretty awesome in this film. I feel like all of the technology is really, really great, and also has some interesting social commentary. For example, people's fears over their cameras and over their microphones, and how technology companies can use this for their own personal gain and are able to control these devices. So I feel like it taps into all of that paranoia and into all of that fear really, really well. And also is just such a brilliant, heartwarming, heart-driven storyline, and how you can learn so much even though this other character is quote-unquote a little bit defective, which I just think is so interesting and eye-opening from a learning / character development point of view. And I feel like they've got enough material here to potentially even have a sequel if they choose to do so in the future. But as far as this movie is concerned, I have to give it a massive 8.5 out of 10. Now I'd love to hear from you, so please let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.